Vulcan. Traits and abilities. S-rank hunter. As one of the most powerful beings in the world, Vulcan is an S-rank hunter, meaning his strength, speed, and durability far surpass normal humans. He's among the top tier of fighters, especially in one-on-one combat. Impressive strength and endurance. Vulcan is known for his physical strength and incredible endurance, capable of taking and dealing immense damage. His durability allows him to survive extreme situations, even in prolonged battles. Weapon mastery, dual wielding. Vulcan is proficient in dual-wielding swords and other close-range weapons. His combat style is aggressive, focusing on high-impact attacks while utilizing speed and precision to overwhelm opponents. Combat tactics. Vulcan is not just powerful physically, he's also highly intelligent in combat, able to outthink his opponents. He is adept at reading the flow of battle and adapting his strategy to exploit weaknesses. Magic resistance. Vulcan has magic resistance, making him more resistant to spells and magic-based attacks than regular humans. This helps him combat opponents who rely heavily on magical abilities. Speed and reflexes. Vulcan possesses high-speed reflexes, able to react quickly and accurately to incoming threats. His ability to close the distance between himself and an opponent is nearly unmatched, especially for a fighter of his size. Aya no Kiseki no Leforgid. Traits and abilities. Energy manipulation. Aya has the ability to manipulate vast amounts of energy and channel it into devastating attacks, such as energy blasts or energy constructs. This gives her the ability to strike from a distance, making her dangerous even in long-range battles. Magical mastery. Aya possesses an extensive understanding of magic, allowing her to cast powerful spells that can manipulate the battlefield itself. Her magical abilities include debuffs, weaken her enemies, defensive barriers, and area of effect attacks that can overwhelm enemies. Enhanced agility and reflexes. Aya is highly agile, with reflexes that match her magical prowess. This agility allows her to avoid physical attacks and reposition herself quickly in battle, even when faced with aggressive combatants like Vulcan. Mental and psychological manipulation. Aya can influence the mind of her opponents, using psychological tactics to confuse or weaken their resolve. This is especially effective against foes who are driven purely by physical strength or tactical aggression. Versatility in combat. Aya can fight at both close and long ranges, using her magic and energy manipulation to keep enemies at a distance or close in for a more direct confrontation. She can adjust her tactics depending on the flow of battle, making her highly adaptive. Resilience. Aya's magical defenses make her highly resilient to physical damage, though she may still be vulnerable to extreme physical force. Her intelligence and tactical brilliance make it difficult for enemies to land effective blows. Trait comparison. Vulcan. Combat skill, very high, expert in close-range combat, dual-wielding swords. Physical strength, very high, incredible raw strength and endurance. Energy manipulation, moderate, some resistance to magic and energy-based attacks. Speed and agility, high, fast and responsive in combat. Durability, very high, takes heavy damage and keeps fighting. Tactical mind, high, can read and adapt to the flow of battle. Offensive power, very high, powerful close-range combat and sword techniques. Defensive power, high, solid defenses, though susceptible to magical attacks. Aya no Kiseki no Leforgid. Combat skill, very high, skilled in magic and energy manipulation. Physical strength, moderate, not physically weak, but not focused on physical strength. Energy manipulation, very high, can manipulate vast amounts of energy and magic. Speed and agility, high, very agile, quick reflexes. Durability, high, magical defenses, but not invulnerable to physical damage. Tactical mind, very high, can outthink and manipulate opponents. Offensive power, very high, energy manipulation and magical offense. Defensive power, very high, magical shields and defensive spells. Fight analysis. Phase 1, Initial Engagement. Vulcan would likely charge into battle with a direct approach, using his speed and weapon mastery to close the distance between himself and Aya quickly. He would aim to land devastating blows with his swords, relying on his strength to overwhelm her. Aya, on the other hand, would start by using her energy manipulation to create distance. She would unleash energy blasts or use magical barriers to block Vulcan's approach. She may also attempt to manipulate the environment around her to disorient or confuse him. Phase 2, Mid-Battle. Aya would focus on using magical debuffs to weaken Vulcan's defenses or magical barriers to block his attacks. She would keep her distance, using her agility to avoid his sword strikes and looking for an opening to strike with powerful energy-based attacks. Vulcan would continue to press the attack, relying on his durability and tactical combat to minimize the damage from Aya's spells. He would try to find ways to close the gap, using his speed to land quick strikes when possible. Final phase, Decisive Moment. If the battle continues for long enough, Aya's energy manipulation could prove to be a deciding factor. If she manages to weaken Vulcan using magic and distract him long enough, she could capitalize on his momentary weakness to deliver a devastating attack. However, Vulcan's immense physical power and endurance would allow him to withstand the pressure. He would continue to close in, potentially landing a fatal blow with his swords if he can break through her defenses. Chance of winning. Vulcan 45% Vulcan has the physical strength and combat mastery to challenge Aya, but her energy manipulation and magical abilities give her a significant edge. His resilience and weapon skills will allow him to survive a good portion of the battle, but her versatility and magic resistance breaking abilities may give her an advantage in the long term. Aya no Kiseki no Leforgid 55% Aya wins due to her energy manipulation, magical defense, and tactical flexibility. While Vulcan is incredibly powerful physically, Aya can outmaneuver him with magic and energy blasts. Her ability to keep a distance, weaken his defenses, and exploit his weaknesses gives her the upper hand in this battle. Winner, Aya no Kiseki no Leforgid. Aya no Kiseki no Leforgid wins due to her mastery of energy manipulation and magic, which allows her to control the battlefield from a distance, exploit vulnerabilities, and defend against Vulcan's physical attacks. While Vulcan's strength and endurance are formidable, Aya's versatile magical powers and ability to disrupt his strategies ultimately lead her to victory.